Welcome to another episode of Women Investing in Women. Robin and I continue to be energized and thrilled week after week to feature amazing women of different generations from all over the world who have mastered the art and heart of leaning in to support each other and having the courage to lean in and ask for support from one another. And that is the perfect place where women start investing in each other to build a world that is truly nurturing and uplifting for women, because when women are lifted up, families are lifted up and societies thrive. To have another amazing conversation with us today is a young woman born and raised in Belize, currently studying in a university in Mexico, going through her engineering undergraduate degree in energy and energy-related engineering to transform the Caribbean and the world around her. And I am super excited to introduce you to Celine Neal. Celine, welcome to Women Investing in Women.
Hi, thank you for having me. Well, as she mentioned, my name is Celine, and I'm a student at the University of Quintana Roo in Chetumal, Mexico.
So you and I know each other. We have built a relationship in the community because I spend a lot of time in Belize. And so what's coming up for me, Celine, is as a young person, life has not been easy. Belize is not an easy place to live. And especially as a young woman, there are lots of challenges. And yet you have had the courage to build a support system of women, older women, to support you and aspire and follow your dreams. Talk to us about how you were able to do that and what inside of you gave you that courage to do it, because not many girls and young women know to do that.
I would say probably just growing up and seeing my mom, all the work that she had done, and she always pushed us to complete our careers, and of course, it was never easy. The women that I surround myself with have actually helped build and is building the person that I am. And I've always had a friend who is dear to me but passed away at a young age from cancer. And I always just kept it in me that I wanted to accomplish my dreams. But through her, she's no longer with us, and it was just something that I always kept. That I said I always imagined what would she be like, or how could I make her proud. And I would always bring up her story because she was really a dear friend to me, and has been someone that has always been there for me throughout. And when I was in the university studying an associate degree in mechanical and electrical engineering, she passed away. And even when I went to continue on my work experience at the company that I am in, actually doing my internship, that drive just kept me going. And then I surrounded myself. I get to meet closer people, and they really pushed me. I met you, and you became like a second mother to me. And I just kept going with every woman's story. It's not easy what they've been through, but I feel like women really investing in women, and we're able to communicate, we're able to talk, and if you really find close friendship and genuineness, you can accomplish many things. And
That
I
is
say this
Yeah. That is such a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing those very tender feelings and tender thoughts with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we can totally see how rich and deep those connections are. So thank you for sharing that with us. What really intrigued me from the introduction that Cass made is when she said that you're in an engineering field and you went to a foreign country to study. To me, I find that really, really fascinating. And what interested you? What drew you into this field, which is usually a male-dominated field? And what compelled you to go to another country to study that?
What compelled me is because it was the closest. Well, I've always been a girl who's more interested in the science field. Growing up, I would play around with my friend, and he would always bring over a plane. And I said I wanted to be a pilot, but then I was like, I don't think I want to be a pilot. And just watching the plane and watching everything it's doing and playing around with the toys, so it's their boys in that sense more. And it just intrigued me that I wanted to continue in engineering in the electrical area. And I found that the closest school was in Chickamauga, and it's in energy systems engineering. And I said, why not sign up? Unfortunately, what happened first when I was supposed to go, all my documents were stolen from me. So I wasn't able to go at that moment. And I was like, maybe life changed. So that's when I went into working at that moment at the electrical company. Then the pandemic hit, and I'm like, I think this is the time for me to pursue my career again in engineering at the same university, and I was accepted. I continued the field, and it was something that I always wanted to do. So at the end that I am on right now, I'm really grateful and appreciative of it.
Oh, Cash, you're muted.
Yeah. You made a very difficult transition from the sense of leaving home, your sisters, the community you have built. And as an English speaking Belizean, you went to Mexico to study in Spanish. And you're in the classroom studying in Spanish. As somebody who has made the language transition from Sri Lanka to the United States and sitting in an English classroom and trying to take notes in a language that was not native to me, I understand the challenges. I want the audience to hear from your perspective. What were some of those challenges, and what about your mindset and the way you approach life allowed you to take that transition and succeed in your education? Because you're doing great.
I was just like, you're here for a purpose, and your purpose is to become the engineer that you wanted to do, to become. It's difficult, it still is. Sometimes, honestly, I don't understand anything that they're saying or teaching. And it's so very different because I have to go back to the library or my apartment, and I would have to restudy all these notes in English and then try to understand them in Spanish for when I have exams. I'm still on the journey of learning. Honestly, I don't know 100% Spanish. I'm still practicing, still understanding, but what I'm appreciative of is that some of the professors are a bit easy, that they would be like, if you can't if you can't explain yourself, try to explain yourself in English, because language barrier is a huge difficulty for me still at this point. So some of them going to study or doing courses in English countries, they're able to at least understand a little of English. So I'm a bit, I would say it's a bit ease on that for me. But when it comes to the area of them lecturing, I was still need to catch up.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. What's striking me is that when you left Belize to go abroad, you had to create a whole new network to support you. And I'm wondering, how were you able to find women or even men who supported you in this journey? And what were some of the practical things they did? Or I don't want to, or I don't want to say non-practical, but maybe say emotional things. But what were some of the practical things and then the soft skills things they did that helped you navigate this totally new world and create a totally new support system?
I would say I didn't had it at first. The first few months of being into Tamale was a bit lonely. You have to find the whole new person that is gonna be, you know, because even though you're yourself, there's so many things that go through the changes. I mean, studying, um, just trying to meet people, and I think honestly, when you're already at an age like I am, I'm 29, I started going back actually, how would you say, to these classes in person um, when I was 28. So I'm more older than everyone in my class. And it was a bit challenging for me to find women who I would be able to relate with, who would be able to help me with my whole self-discovery in this new country. I met them through one of my professors when she said I wanted to join their cycling trip. So I went on it and I met women in their 40s and they talked to me, they shared their stories and some of their stories are quite similar. Many of them studied, they have their own different journey and I was able to feel some sort of with myself back again and have some sort of sort of home, a family there. And these women have actually assisted me a lot with both love nature and the many different outdoor stuff we get to do together. So and I'm actually able to have so many similarities and being part of them. Um, and I feel that when you get to surround yourself with these women or with your friends or close friends, you get to have to gather a part of them that makes you you. And on this whole journey, I would say they've been a huge role. So I was grateful to have found these women in their 40s and 50s that has become more like big sisters and mothers to me, and they helped me transcend throughout the 2 years that the years that I've been in. So
That is so beautiful. And having met you and having a very close relationship with you, Celine, it is easy. You make it easy to build that relationship, and you are a giver. Therefore, it doesn't feel like you're taking, right? So you have a nice rhythm to build relationships. You grew up with a single mom working very hard, raising you with sisters and brothers, but you have
mm,
very strong female role models in your life older than you, and you have great friends. Not many, but all you need is a few great friends, right?
mm,
As you navigate this life, both in Mexico while you're building your career through internships and remote working in Belize, you're doing both simultaneously. You also find time to give back to the community. I originally met you when you were volunteering for the Rotary, and you and I had talked, and I was doing a presentation, and that's how I met you, right? That was a few years ago. How how has that shaped you and opened your mind to possibilities? And why do you do that? Because not many people take the time to invest in some other social cost that is not directly beneficial to them. Why do you do that, and how does it fulfill you?
I believe that I would do many of the back to my community because it's something that I enjoy doing. Um, and it's just a part of me. I've always been a person who enjoys being active in the community and assisting those that I can. And I find that to be something that brings me happiness. And it also reminds me to be grateful for the things that I have and how I'm able to assist others. My mom always instilled that enough. Whatever you have or however you can help and assist. Assist those around you that you can assist.
Well, I'm wondering, I know Cass brought up the concept of challenges. What's interesting to me is as you're doing this extra side work, we might call it, volunteer work and other types of work, what have been some of the external challenges that you have faced in trying to do this extra work that you're involved in?
I would say right now doing the internship is that the only challenges I'm facing is that I don't really have any women in that area to be able to support me, mostly men. And it's very different for you to carry a conversation or to easily go to ask another woman for assistance or that how did you do it or do you have any advice to give me? And so far in the company, if I do remain in the company, there's only 3 women within that company. And that that's something that other women would get into in the field of science and engineering. And so we're able to support other younger girls that coming up. And it's something that hopefully I will hope to get involved in because I find it very challenging and the only person we could work with is men who would be able to assist me. And sometimes in the feeling and then the thing that because there are women that they could see you very differently until you put a boundary. And in the area of work, they would feel like, oh, a woman is on board. But as that I have to help her. And we would get these challenges within the company, but you can't really do much if they report with every problem. So it's been challenging, but I've been able to find some coworkers who are men who do assist as well, and they said, hey, I have a sister who is an engineer as well, and don't feel any way if you need assistance, and just reach out to us, and we'll assist you in any way we can. So it's been challenging, but they are some good coworkers and men out there who want to see more women in the engineering field.
That is very encouraging, Celine. So as you make your way into a man's world through internship, you're also supported by men and women in Mexico. And one of the things you've always been a lover of the nature and environment, and you love being outdoors, doing outdoor things. And you have successfully paired that up with relationship building. You go biking, you go hiking, you do things with the community you're building in Mexico and the community you left behind that you keep coming back to in Belize. Talk to us about the importance of self-care and keeping those passions, what spark you alive to continue to pursue your dream, because that is equally important.
Healthcare is really important. I feel that and nature itself just rejuvenates you. It brings some sort of tranquility and peace in my view. It allows you to enjoy things that you can't really buy. It's nature. It's just it's watching a sunset that brings me so like happiness. I would just be able to see, oh my gosh, there's a sunset. Let me grab my phone. I want to capture this moment. And and when you just get to be able to sit there. You don't think about anything. You just have that peace within you, and you're able to be grateful and just continue with your day. And I feel that self-care is something very important, and women should really believe in themselves more, love themselves more, really find time to love themselves and to encourage each other, because that's something that I find that a lot of women don't really have. And some of the women that would speak to me are much older than me, and they would be like, "Why are you so happy?" Or what's what's about you? Or you seem like you always just have it. And I'm like, no, some days you would feel bad, some days you would feel sad. But if you wake up each morning with some sort of gratitude, just take care of yourself, go for a run. And that if your thoughts are if you're having some negative thoughts, then move around or call a friend and just be yourself and talk to someone, because it will make you feel much better. If you just sit there in a negative space, you're not really taking care of yourself, and you're gonna be lonely, and it's gonna get worse. So my thing is, self-care is really important. Go out, go for a walk, try it, it's not bad. Maybe try cycling. I never liked cycling. I always had fear for bikes, and when they told me like let's go, I went. I wouldn't have made these friends if I didn't went on that ride. And I would have felt more lonelier in Mexico if I never went on that bike ride. I met some amazing friends, and it's different for me. And I feel that more and more I'm changing and becoming more of a confident person, and I'm just loving myself.
That is awesome. You have just encapsulated everything that Cass and I hope for in this podcast, in women taking care of themselves, women taking care of other women, or helping, supporting other women. And you've just encapsulated all of that. And when right now this show is being taped just a few days before Thanksgiving in the United States, and so how very appropriate that you talked about gratitude and being thankful, and just having that notion in your heart to help you feel better. As every time we have a guest on, the time just absolutely flies right by. So I'm wondering, what is the best way that we can, that other people, other women who are watching this program could get in touch with you and learn anything from you or contribute anything to what you're doing? And then I'm sure Cass will ask about some final golden nuggets as we wrap it up. But how can people get a hold of you if they want to reach you?
Well, at the moment, they could get a hold of me with my phone number and email, because once I get focused, I really get off social media. And right now, I'm not really on social media. And I find that to be something else, that if you need a break off social media, you could get so much done. And that's what I would do sometimes. But right now, you could get a hold of me by my number and email. And I'm also on LinkedIn.
Oh, Cass, you're muted again. Sorry.
Thank you, Celine. We will make sure that your LinkedIn profile is shared when we do the release. So that'll be a good way to build your professional network. And as we bring this to a close, you've been through a lot in life, but you've looked at the world through such gentleness and compassion and care, and you embrace life with gratitude. What advice do you have for young women in terms of finding that right balance, and regardless of what life throws your way, how do you stay strong and yet maintain your gentleness?
I would say be yourself, love yourself, set your boundaries. It won't ever go the way how you think it will go. That's okay. You don't have to tick everything off your to-do list on that same day. Here's tomorrow. And enjoy the simple things in life. Be grateful.
How beautiful is that? Enjoy the simple things in life. Things are not always going to go your way, but that's okay. Because ultimately that is teaching us, that is growing us, that is evolving us. So as we bring this to the close, let's remind everybody of the wisdom Celine just shared, right? Just be gentle with yourself. Be grateful. Take the time to enjoy what nature offers you. Draw from it, fulfill yourself, and then build strong relationships that are going to sustain you. Because when we do this right, we are going to have sisters and mothers and aunties and grandmothers. And for the older ones, daughters and granddaughters and nieces, right? So this truly is an opportunity for us to build what I call a heart family, build a sisterhood, and through that process, shine and thrive and go on to live your life you were meant to live.